Hi, welcome to Hiking with Kathleen. I'm Kathleen. This is Shannon.
Hello.
And on this part of the journey, we're actually going to be camping at Lake Superior Provincial Park. So we're just checking out a nearby site that's vacant. We got here last night, and today is our first day where we're going to be able to get out and explore. We're here for about a week and a half. Here's our campsite. And then Shannon and I are going to go for a little walk because we know that we are close to Rabbit Blanket Lake. So we're going to have a chance to look at that. I hope you stay on this journey today with us.
There's a tiny ribbon invisible to mankind. It ties us all together for all time. There'll be a rainbow soon to come. Its color so true with the magnificent one. Now I'm chasing behind the misty rain. I'll be ready when that sunshine comes again.
We like to go along the path of the least traveled pathway. So we left Rabbit Blanket Lake, and we have a map of the area. And there's all these little streams. So we're excited because we don't know what we're going to find.
I held it tightly deep inside my soul. It's beautiful now, where once it was hollow.
I hear rushing water.
Okay, let's go look.
Do this?
It's possible, honey bun. There's people hiking. So that's a beaver lodge that is no longer in use. And the way we know that is because beavers are meticulous about keeping vegetation trimmed right down on their the wooden area of their lodge. So maybe that beaver family deserted it or died, and so that's why we see it sort of overrun with some plants. If we knew that a beaver lived there, it's because it would look like it was just a pile of sticks that starts in the water, which is where beavers enter the lodge from underwater. And the beaver lodge has to emerge out of the water because there's a part of it that is above the water level, which is how beavers survive because they breathe air. They're mammals. So anyway, that's an inactive beaver lodge.
A couple people put their lawn chairs down there.
A little island out in Rabbit Blanket Lake. And this is another beaver lodge. However, it's not overgrown with vegetation. It could be that that family just moved down to this one. They did some renovations and they like this one better, perhaps. So the big difference we're seeing from Grundy to Lake Superior is a lot of coniferous trees. Trees that are cone bearing, that's how they reproduce. The deciduous trees are the ones that change color and those leaves fall off at the end of the year. Coniferous trees are much better at surviving colder temperatures because their leaves are narrow and much tougher, so they resist having the wind take off the water. So the evaporation is at a much lower rate, so they can withstand the harsher environment of being in the northern areas. Okay, it's not working out. We have a bald eagle. I know we can see them at home, but it's really cool that we're seeing it here, top of a tree. I'll point you in the right direction. It's only a speck from this camera. we're heading off to the Peat Mountain Trail. So anyway, we'll show you some interesting sights along the way. We're having a bit of a break, and yeah, it's been a challenging trail for sure. I mean, it's going up a mountain. What did we expect? So we just had a drink break and just a rest. This camera levels everything, so you have less of an idea of the grades, but let me assure you, there are grades to be had. We both brought our trekking poles that we normally use if we're snowshoeing or, you know, skiing or something like that in the winter. And it's been great because the trail outline said that it was I can't remember if they said moderate or difficult, but it's pretty rugged in here. And you, for one, don't want to fall because there's a lot of trail that goes up rocks. And of course, that would really hurt if you know, twist your ankle. And we both have our hiking boots on, so we've got good tread and good ankle support. And there are mosquitoes in here. It's about 10:30 in the morning. We started out a little bit later today. It's going to be a hot one today, about 31 degrees, including 31 degrees Celsius, including the humidex. So we had other stuff to get done in the morning. And so we're out here now, and we hope to get out and paddle so we can cool down this afternoon. So we're not showing you a lot of our actual hike itself, and that's just because we need two hands for the trekking poles. But anyway, it's beautiful in here, and you can't hear anything. No sounds of the highway or anything like that as you approach a mountain. You know, you're going up towards the summit. So it's really beautifully quiet in here, something we don't get to experience back at home. On this trail, there are 3 scenic viewing points. This is the first one, and then there are 2 others. But I'll tell you, yeah, it was tough slugging to get up here. What's really cool is we can see Rabbit Blanket Lake and a little island that we have canoed to because it's close to where our campground is. This is a good resting spot. This is absolutely worth that trek. The number of flights we've so far walked is 69 flights. So obviously we're going to have to do the same number going back. When I do my typical walk, when I'm not out here camping, I walk about 10 kilometers and about 35 flights because the trails that I choose have lots of ups and downs. This is 69 one way. It's really been worth it though. So this is our second lookout, and it's the different side. It was only, I don't know, 20 meters away from the last lookout, so it's just showing the other side of the mountain. And you can see it looks pretty, I don't know, hazy, I guess. I did read in the news this morning that there are some forest fires that have been started from lightning strikes but lack of rain. Not in this area, but north of this area. And so I don't know if, I'm not familiar with the effects of forest fires and how far the smoke will travel. But I wonder if that's what's lending itself to this haziness because, I mean, there's hardly a cloud in the sky. And it's not like there's precipitation, so... But it doesn't smell like smoke. So I don't know, it's interesting. The trails here are very well maintained and very well marked. So this one is demanding. I'll show you the key once we get back to the camp. But it helps to prepare you fully so you know what you're getting into and how to dress for it, how to carry your gear or what gear to bring. So anyway, no, it's been a great experience coming along this Peat Mountain trail. We'll have to look into how it got its name. But anyway, we're enjoying the return trip, even more so because it's downhill. We're going down a mountain. And so when we're finished, we're going to go through the gear that we brought with us today. And that'll help you with your planning if you're going to be doing a trail like this, or perhaps coming to Lake Superior Provincial Park and trying out Peat Mountain Trail. One of the things I want to comment on is how to make the best use of a trekking pole. Very much like when you're using it for skiing or trekking in the winter or snowshoeing. What you do, you have your loop and you put your hand up and through your loop so it hangs. And you want it fairly tight. And the reason you do is when you're walking along, you can let it go and you're not looking for it. It comes right back to your hand. So the other thing is, you're always keeping it on a backward angle. So a slight angle going backwards because it's propelling you forward. If you're going down an incline that's really steep, yeah, sure. You know, you use it to slow yourself down. But when you're going up a hill, you're pushing from behind. That's how the trekking pole best supports you. So it's best if you have it so it has sort of like very little leash, and that way you can find it and it just feels like an extension of your arm. So it helps you to preserve some energy because you're not using it to pull yourself up a hill. You're using it to help push yourself up. Same would be true for the winter time. You're using it behind you, sort of like on a 45-degree angle, angled backwards. If you have it in front of you, you have the risk, especially in the winter, of falling over it. Okay, so we just got back to our trailer, and we're both feeling a little bit damp, a little bit sweaty. So we wanted to show you a little bit of the equipment that we ended up bringing on today's hike. So I had my bug shirt on, which wasn't needed on the higher elevations, but it was certainly lower down. Shannon was smart. She packed one of those, what do you call those things on your head?
Buff.
A what?
Buff.
A buff, okay. And that was good because you do sweat profusely, especially because right now it's probably in the high 20s. So we had our cameras handy, my binoculars, and this is really important to not overlook.
We got more than that.
So we're each equipped with bear spray because you're up on the mountain by yourself. And Shannon brought some additional things. Tell us about them.
This is a bear banger. So it pulls and you release it and it sets off this flare. So this flare screws in the end of this pen and it sounds like a gunshot. It does give off a color. So it just, if the bear spray is not working, this is another alternative.
Okay. So, I mean, we're serious when we go hiking. because, as I mentioned, we wear hiking boots, clothing that protects us from ticks, mosquitoes. You know, I brought along a few other things, and that's because in another video I said never travel without a map, and my water bottle. So some essential things: water bottle. Yeah, Shannon has her fuel, her chickpeas. I didn't bring anything to eat. We spent about 2.5 hours doing that trail. We didn't go along the whole trail. What we did is we went to 2 lookouts and then we double backed. And so in addition to that, we each brought our cell phones. And I actually brought a power bank, which is powered by USB plug-in or by solar. And I figured, you know, if one of our cell phones died, then it would be something that could help us out of a pickle. Shannon also brought something just in case drinking all that water was going to create a problem. What did you bring?
I brought my PEs. I have a very small bladder, and it allows me to urinate standing up, believe it or not, in the woods. Didn't have to use it. I don't normally have to use it. It's just in case.
Because we sweated so much today, we didn't have to worry about how much we drank. We both drank about half a bottle of water, and it was mostly on the way up. That was much more strenuous, and on the way down was, it was a nice break, to be honest. It was nice to just sort of come down. And so, let me see, what other things? And then you see I have binoculars, and we each brought our camera. And our trekking poles. The trekking poles were really, really helpful. So, yeah, I think that's about it. So, let me see, what else? No, we just wanted to actually really point out that when you're in bear country, you just have to be careful. You have to plan and just make sure that you have something that will take care of the threat if there is one. And if that doesn't work, that you have your cell phone, something that can help you to get out of a pickle, because we're going to an area where there is no campground. It's a marked trail. By the way, the trails here at Lake Superior Provincial Park are really well marked. It's good because it tells you the direction to continue the trail or the direction if there's a lookout ahead. So I really appreciated having that sort of guidance. And we had our map, so we checked our points off as we were walking along using the map. So anyway, that was Peat Mountain Trail. These little bugs seem to intrigue Miley, and they're on the outside of the tent. There's 2 of them. All in a day's work.